How are you?
Well, I'm quite nervous right now. I saw your videos earlier, and when I wrote to you, I didn't expect a reply. I have never done this, so I'm quite nervous right now.
I understand. Yeah, everybody starts at some point. So you'll be okay.
Thank
How
you.
has your day been so far?
Uh, I work at a school, but it was holiday,
Because of
so
Janmashtami.
Janmashtami. Yeah, so I was preparing for my exams. Tomorrow I have final year exam, and I was preparing for that, and I was waiting to
Okay,
chat with you.
you mind telling me more about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is Raushan, and I'm from Bihar. Final year student of BA English Honors, and to pay my bills, I work in a school. I love reading, playing cricket, and watching movies. And now I've created my YouTube channel where I talk about books, movies, and whatever I find interesting.
It's
So
nice.
I
I
think
want to
this
know.
video is going. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So my name is Shantha and I live in Karnataka. By qualification, I'm an engineer, and by passion, I'm a YouTuber. So my hobbies include talking to people, recording their conversations, and uploading on my channel. I create other content related to English as well. So yeah, that is my only single hobby as of now. I'm a full-time homemaker as well. So managing home as well as managing YouTube. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I saw your videos. They were amazing, and that's why I reached out to you. I have been trying to film videos, conversational videos with my friends, but living in Bihar, there are not many friends who speak English. So when I saw
Hmm.
your videos, I got this idea that I can also record videos, and
Yeah,
but
so do I.
there was this fear of being judged, when you are putting yourself on the internet. It's like, so even if 20 people are watching, you still feel their eyes on you. I think you can understand. You have, I think, more than 40K subscribers.
Yes, I totally relate to that, but it also restricts you from talking about certain things, and you have to be conscious that people are going to
Yeah,
watch me. So I have to be thoughtful of what I'm talking. You
yeah.
just have to be.
There is this friend of mine, Sudha.
Mhm.
She speaks brilliantly. I recorded a video with her, and it was just a normal conversation where we talked about our future, and especially regarding English, where I could help people while they are listening to us, they can learn something from us. So she told me that to be consistent, but I wasn't able to find any partner with whom I could talk. I have a few friends, but they are not comfortable and they are very camera conscious. Even I was. But after recording a few videos, I think I'm getting used to it. Still, before doing this session, I was really hesitant. I don't know how this is going to go, how this is going to end, but I'm looking forward to it. And since morning, I was really excited that I'm going to talk to you, and let's see how it turns out. So,
That's okay. Let's see.
yeah, so I wanted to ask a few questions about your journey. You are a mother
Right.
to take care everything at your house, and then doing YouTube. How do you manage everything?
I think time management. Once my children go to school, I tried like my first priority is my family, my kids.
Hmm.
So once they leave to school, then I start working. I do the household chores. I try to finish it in a couple of hours. Then after 11 or something, I'm free for YouTube, simultaneously managing home and YouTube as well. Because both are at school, so I get at least 2 or 3 hours of free time during the day to pursue
Hmm.
something which I like doing. So that is how I'm managing. Sometimes it gets challenging when you are not keeping well.
Hmm.
And managing YouTube is also not a breeze. You have to be
Yeah,
consistent,
yeah.
have to give good quality of content consistently. Otherwise, you are always having that fear of not keeping up to the mark. Also, you don't make much out of YouTube. So, really, if you're
Hmm.
passionate about YouTube, only then you should go for it. So, yeah, that is how I'm managing.
And what about the comments? I think I saw a few videos of yours. I saw only positive comments. So do you ever get negative feedback? And if you do, how do you manage with that?
I would say on an average out of 100, 98% is positive. Maybe 1 or 2% is negative. Happens rarely. Maybe once a month I get a negative comment. If it disturbs me a lot, I just take off that comment. I make sure to reply to the comment before taking it off. Somehow I want to make it a positive space for all of us, no conflicts. And honestly speaking, people are good, better than what I was expecting. So yeah, and also
I
the
think.
niche is such that it is education, it is English. So
Mhm.
people are good in general. I'm happy.
This is what I liked about your videos. You were so supportive and you let people talk. I mean, the way they were expressing themselves, I felt that they were really comfortable with you. And that's why you were the first person I reached out because I didn't want to be, I just wanted to feel comfortable. And I think this video is going on my channel,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is. Yeah.
So, my channel is all about, I talk about books, movies, and as I
Mhm.
told you earlier that whatever I find interesting, but mostly it's been books. So, are you into reading or not?
Yes, I was an avid reader before technology took over and before data became this cheap. I would read a
Yeah.
lot.
So, are you reading anything
And
at the moment?
yeah, that was one of the reasons why, like, you provided the link to your channel, right? So I just
Hmm.
went to your channel and I saw like variety of content. So
Hmm.
I noticed like books, you were doing books reviews. So that is one common thing that connects. And also you're quite passionate. You're doing different things. You're doing, I think, exercising,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you
I'm posting my workout videos every day like that.
it and the book reviews, and it was a different type of content, and I like talking to different kind of people. So
Hmm.
I don't like see for whether they are beginners or what. If the person interests me, I just end up talking to them. So yeah, I recent nowadays I'm just reading a book which has a lot of affirmations or a kind of quotes. Think Big. It's called as Think Big. So it
Hmm.
has a small book. I don't know how many quotes are there, but on
Hmm.
a repeat mode, I keep reading it, like maybe 5 quotes a day. They're very nice, very nice actually, thought-provoking quotes. So I like that book. That is what I'm reading now. Not like reading, because it's just one line a page.
Yeah, it's
So
just code, so you can read whenever you are in the mood of reading.
right, that's it. Because I am not into starting a novel or something like that kind right now. I don't have the time, honestly. And secondly, that interest is also somewhat fading away with a physical book.
Hmm.
So technology, phone, and TV are so much. They have so much impact now that it feels easier. Put on the TV or take the phone and watch something, and you need
Hmm.
a lot of motivation to go touch a book, open a book, or start reading.
I'm kind of romantic when it comes to book. I feel there are not many bookstores. So whenever I'm
Mhm.
traveling, I make sure that I visit some bookstores and get my book list. Right. So
Uh,
when I was in Delhi this year, I got almost 2 years of quota. I have got enough physical copy to carry for almost 2 years. And whenever I'm talking to people, I try to ask about their habits, especially reading. I think you know I we don't have where I live. It's not a very you could say that a noise friendly area. Even while I made sure that while we are recording this session, that's why I was asking you if 9 is fine with you in the morning. It's not that friendly area. So about books, should we continue with books?
yeah.
You know this smartphone, social media thing has
Hmm.
replaced physical media, especially books and even CDs. Right?
Yeah.
You must remember CDs. So what do you think has changed it, especially social media?
I think convenience and also cost, because physical books are a bit expensive.
Yeah, expensive. They
And
are expensive.
yeah, once you're done reading a book, um, it has to just sit there in your library, right? Because
Mm.
it is not very common that you read the same book again. So, firstly, you have to invest in books, you have to read them, you have to just collect them at your house. And it is not very often that you can buy a book. But while compared to social media, you have new content coming every single minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it is convenient, comfortable, cost
Mm-hmm.
effective. Data is quite cheap these days. Like you can, instead of buying three books, you'll have a month of data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is on a like average scale. Average, if you want to buy a novel somewhere around 300, 400, you have to pay for it, right? And also online forums, if you go to purchase second-hand books. I've also been in clubs or Facebook pages where they circulate second-hand books. But honestly, the model and everything is quite confusing. And that was
And you
not
don't
fruitful,
get the exact book you want to get when you are on those websites.
right?
Somebody is always ahead of you, and they get it before you even have time to get it.
Yeah, it sounds scripted sometimes that you are,
Mm-hmm.
it is your destiny to not get any books. It feels that way. And also, once you just have to read the gist of summary, which is whichever is given at the end of the book, and end up purchasing the book. Maybe when you are reading it, you might lose interest, or you might
Mm-hmm.
feel it as, waste. So again, that is a waste of money. It's just my opinion. I don't know book lovers what they would want to tell about this, but that's what I
Yeah.
feel.
In my case, whenever I'm choosing a book or watching a movie, I tend to finish it, and I always find good things about whatever I'm reading. And I'm very conscious of what I'm going to read next and what I'm reading at the moment. So most of the time, I pick books, which is critically acclaimed or from the same
Hmm.
author which I enjoy reading. Right?
Okay.
Otherwise, there are just so many books and we don't have enough time to read everything.
Correct, correct. And also, it adds to the factor of your age, also, right? Whether you have sufficient time to finish a book. You're
Yeah.
young, you're single, you're a student, you are able to do that.
Mm.
But for other people who have a full time job or they have to manage a house, completing a book is a task in itself. It might take like 5 months,
Mm.
6 months to finish a book. And sometimes you just leave it, half, you just read it a half and you just lose interest or you forget about it totally. That also happens.
And that what bothers me a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading too much. I try to stay away from social media. I try. I'm not saying
Hmm.
I'm completely away from it, and I try to replace that instant form of entertainment with books. And I watch movies too. So this is what I'm trying to replace. This short form of entertainment with long term entertainment. There is
That's
this
very
thing
good.
with our attention span. I feel that I'm not able to concentrate even while talking to people, right? So
Mm,
I have been trying to be conscious of whatever the media I consume. I try to,
mm.
but still social media is so addictive that can't help staying away from it.
You just you make up your mind. I'm going to just 10 minutes or 15 minutes of entertainment, and you don't know like an hour passes away. Then you end
Yeah.
up feeling guilty about it.
Guilty,
I just
yeah.
wasted for doing nothing.
Mm, mm. What about movies? Do you watch films on regular basis or not?
I am a big time movie buff. I watch a lot of movies. It used to be even more prior to
Mm,
YouTube because that is what I used to do in my free time.
mm.
Movies and music, they are my passion. Okay, and I used to watch a lot of movies.
Do you want to talk
Bollywood,
about them?
South India. I don't mind.
So, who are your favorite filmmakers or just in general? What do you like to watch?
I am more of whatever comes on the screen rather than what
Mm,
goes behind making it. So I'm not much into directors or the technicality of it. I just see
yeah.
who is there on the screen. So on those lines, I love. As an actor, I like Hrithik Roshan and Deepika Padukone as an actress.
Mm,
So I like what kind of movies? I like drama, fiction,
mm,
um, romantic films, or something with a deep message,
yeah.
something which deals with the society, some aspect of society. Yeah, but I'm not into sci-fi kind of films. And most of the Hollywood films like Marvel Rangers, Avengers, I'm not into those kind of movies. Soft movies, drama, romance, yeah, I'm into that.
What about foreign movies? Have you ever watched a movie with subtitles, in a different language?
No, only English or Hindi, nothing else.
Hindi.
Yeah,
I would
South
love to
Indian movies,
yeah,
yeah,
I would
but
love
only
to
English.
recommend a few movies to you, but I don't know whether you'd like or not. But you should watch some foreign movies too. If you are in, you said you like drama and fiction, and I have been watching movies from all over the world. So you should try Korean cinema too. You know. The drama they bring to it feels like their whole aesthetic is different from our country. India, it's completely different. You should try some of the Korean movies, especially the thriller ones. I think I don't know whether you have heard of this film Parasite. You might have. It's a
Ah,
very famous movie.
yeah, yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, but never thought of watching it.
Yeah, give it a try,
Mm-hmm.
and you might like it.
I'll do that.
So about YouTube, how long have you been doing it?
I think it's close to an year now.
Hmm.
I started it somewhere on 30th August to be precise, but I started uploading consistently from October. So yeah, almost an year.
So do you have any suggestion? What should I do and what should I avoid here? Like I want to try something new. Do you have any suggestion?
Suggestion in the sense you have to stick to a particular niche
Hmm.
because that's what audience like. Whichever audience likes you, if you're into fitness, you will get audience who
Hmm.
are into fitness. But if you're doing a
Hmm.
combination of things, uh, many people will not subscribe. So if you're doing
Hmm.
English, do only English. That's the first thing. Just zero in on one niche.
Hmm.
Second thing, be consistent. You have to keep appearing there in front of people. Only then they will wait for your videos. That
Yeah.
is the second. You have to be consistent and you have to provide good quality of content.
Hmm.
Content is the key any day. So yeah, just these three suggestions.
And about learning English, I think four components are very important: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. So
Correct.
I want to know how did you combined everything? Uh, where are you from? Sorry, where are you from?
I'm from Karnataka.
Karnataka. So I think English is more of we can say the exposure to English is more earlier in Karnataka, I think.
Yeah, I studied in a convent, so that makes it's
Yeah.
not like a particular region, but I
Hmm.
studied in a convent, so I was exposed to English earlier.
So how did you manage all these four components: listening, speaking, writing, and reading?
Yeah, I grew up in the 90s. Okay, so
Hmm.
no social media, no mobiles. We had only Doordarshan at home. But I went to a convent luckily. So there we have fathers and nuns who teach us. They are from
Hmm.
across India, from different parts of India. And the only common language was English. So it was
Hmm.
mandatory for us to talk in English as long as we were in the campus. So I would do it very consciously because I was an obedient kid and I would follow all the rules of the school. So I ended up talking English most of the time. Back home, even my dad was very strict and particular that we talk in English so that we are going to grow up and get into a good career. So it's very
Hmm.
particular that we spoke in English even at home, interact with him especially. My mom didn't know English, so most of the time we would talk to him, his colleagues. He made sure that we talk to random people, people who knew English. At that time,
Hmm.
we have to talk English with them. So he was quite particular about that receiving phone calls, landlines, because we didn't know who was on the other side of the call, unlike today. So he made us to receive the call, talk to his bosses or his colleagues. He gave us that environment and exposure and encouragement. We were hesitant, we were nervous as children talking to grown-ups who were good in English, but that gave us a different kind of edge. We learned English gradually. Also, a thing is that it became my habit. I loved reading books. I loved
Hmm.
writing. I would write poems and I would write short stories for the magazines. So it is not one aspect. LSRW equally done. So
Hmm.
that is what worked on my English. And I've given, um, I think, equal portions to everything while I was learning English. So I cannot tell one aspect which I did more. Everything will
Yeah.
equally contribute in your English journey. So
So
that is how I learned.
it must have been frightening to talk to those strangers, in the beginning when you were on phone calls, right?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. We felt honestly growing up it was terrible, but now I'm just getting the fruits of whatever I did. So
Yeah.
it is somehow coming into handy for me as a second time chance, second time
Hmm.
into profession. So yeah.
Uh, which one did you like most? Out of those four components, which is your favorite? I guess speaking,
Writing is my favorite. Reading and writing.
writing.
Yeah,
Mm,
reading and writing is my favorite because I loved reading books, and we had very few resources back then. We would go to somebody else's house where they
mm,
would get magazines like Reader's Digest or some film magazines. So we used
mm.
to go to their houses and read the same books repetitively because I loved reading. So that
Yeah.
repetition is very important while learning anything. So that
Yes, yes,
repetition somehow got
it
into
is.
me. Yeah, these are the two aspects I enjoyed a lot: reading and writing.
I also used to read a lot when I was a child. My cousin introduced me to these monthly magazines. They were in Hindi, Champak, Balhans. They were for kids, Nanhe
Right.
Samrat. So I used to wait eagerly, and
Mm.
but then social media happened. I was given a smartphone, and then reading. It was so alienated thing for me. But then again, social media introduced me to reading again. So I don't know whether I should be thankful or to social media or not.
Mm.
And I think you are a mother too.
Yes, yes.
So
I have
how
two
has
kids.
life two kids? So do you see any changes on in yourself, especially with your mental health, before being a mother and after being a mother?
Definitely, it's been a roller coaster ride. And it's not only about the way you think, it is also hormones making you think in a specific way.
Yeah.
So definitely there's a shift. You used to be like totally careless and totally free, but that doesn't happen now. All your choices, your decisions, you have to think double, and they somehow
Mm,
take a backseat. Your wishes, your wants, the family's wants become priority to you later. So yes, it definitely has an impact on your mental health in a positive way. You become a better human being. You become more understanding. You
mm,
become more compassionate. You never know that you have so much love inside you that you can give to somebody else unless you
mm.
become a parent. That is a big time realization which cannot be explained.
And what about your mental health thing? Do you think it is real? Do you ever think about it? People talk about mental health and physical health, and there are some
Yeah.
people who completely denies that there is nothing called mental health. So how do you take
Oh,
care of it?
definitely, there is a lot about mental health. I think we can discuss it in a separate session altogether because there is a lot to be told on that. So
Yeah,
I think we
sure,
will
sure.
have another session because this will become very long then.
So should we end this now?
Yes, yes, we should be ending
Okay,
it.
okay. Last question, then we will end this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always ask this question to my friends and to whom I'm talking. If they can travel back in time,
Mm-hmm.
where will you travel? How far will you go in past? And what will you say to your past self?
Okay, going back to my past, maybe my college days, I will go back and tell myself to not be so stressed and life is going to be okay. Um, because somehow when doing my engineering, I was a lot stressed about job and how is my future going to be, future
Mm.
partner, future life. So maybe that I was a lot stressed at that time. So maybe if I given a chance, I would go back and tell future is beautiful. It's okay, relax.
I can relate with that, being frightened about future and when you are young. I am young and I'm so frightened at the moment. Thank you for joining me today and I'm looking forward to our next conversation. Thank you.
Definitely, I would love for you to prepare more questions to ask me during our session for my channel because your
Sure,
questions
sure.
were really good. Okay, lovely talking
Thank
to
you.
you. We'll talk
Thank
again.
you. Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.